Hello everyone, and welcome to the 100% walkthrough for AI Limit. We're going to get started right away. And this walkthrough, I'm going to let the cutscenes play and the dialogue play, because I think the story is really good in this game. It's one of the strengths of it compared to other Souls-likes. So we're going to let all this play.
As the war concluded, and eons of calamity waned, all life withered, leaving behind a desolate world. A mysterious black mud crept forth, corroding the land inch by inch. The remaining humans roamed amidst the ruins, haunted by fear. They fought for food and sought refuge from the monsters born from the mud. Desperate, they swarmed to the last bastion of humanity, Havenswell.
Alright,
Where is this?
so you play a blader named Orisa in this game. You are a baby blader here. We just emerged. We don't know who we are. You can hold circle while running to sprint, and then tap circle to roll, and dodge. R1 is the light attack, R2 is the heavy. You can hold R2 for a charged heavy. Now in this game, instead of stamina and running out of stamina by doing things like dodging or using your weapon, instead you have something called a sync rate. Your sync rate goes up as you strike enemies with light and heavy attacks. Your sync rate goes down when you either get hit or when you use a weapon skill, like your special attack of your weapon, or when you use a spell. So you can have one weapon equipped with a weapon skill and then one spell equipped. If your sync rate falls all the way to 0, it's like you get stunned and shattered. So there's a stat called stability that will help you not lose as much sync rate when you get struck. So that's kind of like armor. And there's another stat called conversion, and conversion will actually cause you to gain more sync rate as you hit enemies. So it kind of acts as stamina. Both of them together, are kind of, acting on the sync rate. So what that means is this game kind of it has, the concept of the game is essentially you have a generator phase where you are trying to get your sync rate up, and then you have a spending phase where your sync rate's super high and now you know that you can use your weapon skill or your spell. So that's essentially the principle of the gameplay here. Items can be used by hitting square. You can use left and right arrow to cycle between them. We've been given a pure crystal, which we could equip. You can go down here, put that on our thing. Broken branch lets us return to the last place that we spawned, last branch. In this case, we haven't discovered a branch yet, so we'll spawn, probably back at the start if we were to use it. If you've played Lies of P, it's like the pocket watch. That's just something you sell to merchants for crystals, which are what you use to level up. So this is talking about the weapon skill. If you hold L2, you'll see that my weapon skill is called Home Run Swings, and it costs 20%. You can see that in the bottom right. So that just shows it. And you can see my sync rate went down by 20% when I used it. Alright. So now we're gonna go this way. It's all very linear. And this guy is gonna try to shoot at us. Remember, you can just kind of sidestep by hitting circle. You can see there's some loot there to get. If you walk slowly up behind an enemy, your cursor will change to yellow, and then you can hit R1, your light attack button, to like do a Fatal Strike. Fatal Strike does scale with technique. Your technique stat. Oh, did that guy really... Oh, can I get it through the wall? Oh, that's hilarious that I could get it through the wall. Now this guy's gonna like throw things at us. And we'll just kind of charge him. The weapon skill of this rusty longsword is not very good, which is why you don't really see me wasting time using it. And all these enemies at the start just kind of die to light attacks. So there are tutorials that'll show you everything that it just, has been talking about. So when we go through here, we're gonna have our first boss. So for this boss, just kind of stay, just kind of move around him. If you just keep kind of dodging him. Wow, I'm whipping this, You can use a mud ball if you get in trouble. And then he dies. They do blow up when they die, so watch out for that. And now we get our first spell. The spell that we get is Railgun. So you do L2 R1 to cast a weapon skill and L2 R2 to cast a spell. If you hold L2, you can now see that I have Railgun. It says 20%.
Lord Asteria. Ah, finally. A nascent blader.
Blader?
Yes. Thank you for helping us deal with the void.
The void.
You're here looking for branches, right? Then go and meet the branch weaver. Her lordship is waiting for you. Please go. There's not much time left for her lordship.
You can go this way. That was the world's worst sewer cleaner kill, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm doing this late at night when I'm a little sleepy. I'll make sure to give you a good performance on bosses that matter. But hey, any kill you can walk away from, right? So this is Asteria, the Branch Weaver.
Welcome, Seeker of the Branch. I'm Asteria, the Branch Weaver. I've been waiting for you. It's a pleasure to know that you've arrived safely.
What's this place?
An ancient underground drainage tunnel, deep underground in the south region of Heavenswell.
Is this a branch?
As you see, this branch has been damaged since long ago. Please use your power as a blader to restore it.
So branches are like the sites of grace in Elden Ring or bonfires in Dark Souls. Tapping them once will you know, have you discover them, and then you're able to travel between these branches. So from any branch, you can go to any other branch, and then, you know, resting again at it will cause all the enemies to respawn and all the charges of your heals to refresh. So she's seeing a mysterious memory now. I originally recorded this walkthrough skipping all the cutscenes and all the lore, and then I was like, that's no fun. This is actually a fun one to watch, and the dialogue's good. Or the story resonated with me, at least. Alright, so before, when you talk to her, she's going to have you pick a starter weapon. But because we're level, like, 3-ish right now, or level 1, actually, all the way up in here, it's cheaper for us to go ahead and level up now, because it costs more to level if we have her. When we pick a starter weapon from her, she's going to bump up our level. So then it makes our crystals effectively worthless. So we're going to start off with strength, because we're going to start off with a great sword. And the reason for that, I'll get into here in a minute.
This way. The branch is functional once more. Now please, take this. This life dew will mend your body. It will be replenished once connected to the branch. Please, make good use of it. What happened?
When I touched the branch, I saw a strange vision. In the vision, I was in the water, and there was something huge, glowing in the distance. But I couldn't make it out. What just happened?
Perhaps it is the memory reserved in the branch. Your lost memory.
My lost memory.
Keep seeking branches, and one day you will be able to retrieve your memory.
Seeking branches.
Leave this area and proceed to Heavenswell. To truly understand everything, you must embark on the journey. For this purpose, I am offering you a parting gift. Now, make your choice.
So my recommendation, personally, for how to play this game at the start, you're eventually going to unlock a respec, so you're not locked into this. But I would suggest strongly picking the great sword.
Mission. The path ahead is open. It is time to proceed. Go meet humans. Find the scattered branches and restore them, as this will be the only salvation for this broken world.
So we now have our main heal. We get 3 of them to start. You hit triangle to use it. So we have both the mud balls for little heals, and then if you need to, you know, do the bigger heals, then you use the life too. So I've got some of the deluxe content here. We'll put on the White Sparrow's coat. The reason that I suggest going with Greatsword is in the very next level, so very, very early in the game, you're going to get access to a really, really strong Greatsword, and that Greatsword has a weapon attack that stuns.
Lord
It knocks
Asteria,
even the strongest
the area
enemies
down
down.
here is plagued with the void. Just stay away from it. Why did you have to mess with that well? There is nothing worth scavenging in that dump, huh? A new face. Go find yourself a spot and don't bug me. If you don't want to get gobbled up, stay away from the mud.
So I talked about how, due to the way the sync rate works, when you have to spend sync rate to use your weapon skill, and then you have to like get sync rate back. You can either pop up your crystal, which we have some of, but they're a limited resource right now, or you want an ability that knocks the enemy down and makes it so they can't attack you, because then you're able to generate the sync lost from spending the weapon skill while the enemy can't respond. So that's what makes a weapon like the Great Sword so good, is if it staggers them and they can't respond, then you go through a cycle where you use your weapon skill to knock them down, regenerate your sync while they're knocked down, and then you spin your weapon skill again and knock them down a second time, and they can't really react. So this game is a very strange compared to other Souls-likes due to this sync rate mechanic, because it basically rewards weapons with staggerability. Like, that's just becomes a really important concept. So here we have to jump. It's got a kind of Lies of P style jump where you sprint and then you have to push in on your stick. You can see this also, a greatsword also kind of has high staggerability even in the normal attacks.
Oh, another one of them. You want to escape to the surface too? How pathetic. There's no escape. The monster is still there. No one can escape.
So now to jump back, bias towards being on this side, see how there's a... Oh, and then I go and promptly jump to the other side anyway. So there's an enemy hiding back here. And there's a guy who wants to shoot you, so if you get kind of over here, he'll struggle to hit you. Now, this is a great place to use your spell. 2 shots of your spell will take that guy out. Remember, that's L2, R2 to use the spell. Oh, I didn't drop anything. That's too bad. So now we're headed up here. And now there's a big pipe man. You can see how I didn't let him do like much of anything. And then we're gonna go in here. There are 2 of them, so watch out. So I may not stick with Greatsword, but I'm not going to switch. For example, let's say you want to switch to the dual blades. The first dual blades you get that have really good staggerability on their weapon skill are they'll be about 4 or 5 episodes in here. So I might consider switching then, and that's around the time you unlock respec as well. So just to show what this guy's gonna do, he's gonna shoot lasers. And you don't want to get hit by that. So you want to go over here into this pipe. We are going to take that robot out later on, and then we'll be able to get that loot. So for now, don't worry about it. And now we can actually travel back to the other branch if we wanted to. So I'm just going to keep pumping strength. So that door we have to unlock, so that's our next mission. We're going to go this way and get that door unlocked.
Must seize the moment. Release the force field. To counter. Too hard for me. Got to get out of here quickly.
So we now have our first frame ability. You select which frame ability you want to have equipped by holding down L2 and then picking triangle, square, circle, or X. In this case, this is the only one we have, so we can hold down L2, hit triangle, and it's equipped. And then to use the frame ability that you have equipped, you hit L1 or hold L1, depending on what it is. So this is parry. To parry, you have to hit L1 at the correct time, and then you will stun the enemy and be able to do a fatal strike on them. Now, in this game, parry needs to be done a lot earlier than you think. So that's just something to, like, watch out for. It's kind of as they start a swing. So you might be used to other games. where like Lies of P or Sekiro, where you do it much later. Here you want to almost anticipate it. Parry is extremely busted in this game if you master it. Oh. So like, let's see. Well, I wanted to try to demo it. This guy's actually kind of tricky to parry, so not really a good, he's not really a good example to use. Alright, so we're gonna get this, and there's a guy hiding in the smoke over here. When you kind of have little injuries, you can go for a mud ball. Now this guy, we want to get a Fatal Strike on him. Now take this guy out, who's throwing things at us. And let's see if the pipe guy dropped anything. He didn't, but this guy did. Alright, now we're gonna go up here. Fatal Strike this guy. We're gonna get a portable electrification, and I'm gonna demo it for you now. So what this does is ignition buffs your weapon with fire, electrification buffs it with electricity. Robots are weak to electricity, and there's a robot over here. So you kind of see, so it'll actually be really effective against this guy. And they blow up when they die, remember? Now we want to fall down this hole. And open this door.
Why are you standing here? Are you trying to attract the void here? Get lost!
Alright, and now we have to successfully jump back without dying. We did it, team. I swear I clench up every time I have to do a jump in this game because it's the horrible jump model and not a dedicated jump button. And I find that when I mash the L3 stick in to do a jump, I often like just kind of accidentally don't mash it straight, or I push it and then it causes me to jump a little sideways. So it's always an exciting time. So yeah, we picked up that loot. Skip this jump, we don't actually want to fall yet. Or sorry, skip over the hole, I meant. Over here, a guy's gonna come crashing out. Okay, you should be able to Fatal Strike both of these. And one of them noticed when I Fatal Struck the other one. I have successfully Fatal Struck both of them before. You can read things in the world. They'll show up as a blue glow, but kind of a more of a circular or spherical glow. So the massive thing is the robot that was shooting lasers. You can roll through crates. So we're about to unlock the shortcut back. Watch out that there's a guy over here. Well, lock-on can be finicky in this game if you don't... Like, I didn't quite have him centered. See, those are very, very slow and very easy to dodge. Don't even think about laying your finger on what's stored inside. Oh, I'm gonna lay lots of fingers on what's stored inside. Oh, I'm gonna put all my fingers on here. So this gets you the Blader armor, even though it's not quite as good. Or actually, I guess it has higher physical. So that's what we look like when we put that on. Pretty cool. That's our shortcut door. And then now we can go level up if we want. Let's see. I'm just going to keep pumping strength. Enhance lets you strengthen a weapon, which you should be able to safe to take this up to level 5. because before we do any kind of switch, because that's around the time respec will become available anyway. See, you can see I need 3 luminous carbon and I have 2, and it also costs a little bit of crystals. All right, so now that this is open, you can actually fatal strike that guy, but if you move forward too much, it fails. The reason I don't mind resting at the branch here is it's just these guys are all easy to kill, so it's just extra health, extra crystals. I mean, okay, so now we are going to finally take that robot out, and you can see his fist is here, so he's hanging out there. And then he's going to do a double pound, so there's the second one, and then he can kind of... and then get off that because it's fire. Fire's bad, the floor is lava. And he'll do another pound. Okay, I'll let myself get hit. This is kind of annoying because it just takes forever. Now that's a single swipe. Alright, and now he'll fall down and be gone. And with him being gone, you can... and this will be the ultimate way forward here. Now we can get all this loot that we couldn't get before. You can see we got another luminous carbon, so we can now upgrade our weapon. Alright. And then there's a key that we needed to get that's over here. To a reservoir, which we're going to go down into. We can't open this yet.
Must be opened
The
from the
classic,
other side.
classic must be opened from the other side. So do this really carefully. Alright, and then from here, we can go back. And we can actually enhance our weapon. We're going to upgrade. Keep pumping strength. We're going to get it to 35 or so. That's when it starts falling off. And then we'll pump life. If you ever feel like you're in trouble, you could like pump life earlier. But at least at the start, I don't really feel like you need much life. Because your heals aren't that strong anyway. Oh, I'm not even going the right way. Okay, so there was loot here, which I think we got. Now we're going to go over here. There's like an actual passageway. Some mud balls. You can talk to this guy.
Hey, where are your tools for making mud balls? You won't have anything to eat if you can't make mud balls.
Schedule. They're having to like share the mud ball maker. Alright, there's a lot of enemies down here. This is one disadvantage of this, is that we are really slow. But we stagger well, right? I just find this weapon much easier to use at the start of the game than the other options. It's all about keeping the enemy locked down as much as possible. And you can even switch later on to, once we get weapons of the other types that are also good at locking down, but that's the principle, is that's how you evaluate what's a good weapon in this. If you're super high skill, you know, that evaluation changes, right? But if you're playing through for the first time, like on a very first playthrough, that's what I recommend. There's a guy to backstab right here. And if you're willing to wait, yeah, we'll wait. He'll come out and then turn around, and then you can get a fatal strike on him. And if you look up here, when we jumped over that hole earlier, where we fought the robot up there, right, you can even see him back. That's where we could have fallen down here, but we didn't have the reservoir key yet, so it wouldn't have made sense. So that's why we're doing this in the order we're doing it in, because this is the reservoir. Mud collection, site number 5. So reservoir key used. Alright, so the way these snails work is when their head's out, you can hit them, and then they'll retreat into their shell, and then you have to fatal strike them when they're in their shell. So its head comes out, hit the head. Oh, wait, we had it. It's a flaky, oh no, I got poisoned. That's bad. So its head's out, hit the head, and then you gotta find the... You gotta find the fatal strike spot. There it is. Now, I don't know if we have one yet, but antidotes are how you clear poison. We did have one. Alright. Now that gave you our first Dew Essence. So Dew Essences are, they basically let you increase the strength of your heals. And there's like, I want to say like 10 of them or so. Now watch out for this hole getting this item. So yeah, there's both increasing the charges on your life dew, and then there's increasing the potency of the life dew. So that's what Dew Essence does. So that's a really tough void enemy. We're going to open up a shortcut before we take him on. So if you climb this super long ladder, you can then unlock this shortcut. And this was by where we picked up that key, remember? And then this is where we knocked down the robot. We can go back through, you know, our room here. And rest at the branch before we take on that tougher enemy. And let's see, do we... 1 out of 4, not even as close. So we can do again. And the nice thing here is we now don't have very many crystals, so like, if we get killed, it's whatever. We'll just be able to come right back. Alright. Now these things are weak to fire, so that's a valid option to buff your weapon with fire.
That doesn't seem to be one of the things.
There's what a parry looks like. Make sure you don't get knocked off. And now with it dead, I actually just recommend from here, it's like less time to just go back. Now we got a new spell, a heal. So that costs 60% sync rate though, but you can use it if you need it. But it costs a lot of sync rate. Oh. Killing that probably will give you enough to level. Get real familiar with this room to clear it over and over. Alright, so now the way forward is this way. Now there is another enemy on the side here. Where'd you come from? So now we come up here. You can see how staggerable everything is. Alright, now we get the shield. So the way the shield works is you hold L1, well you do L2 square to equip it, then you hold L1 in order to use it. Once it starts glowing, you can double tap L1 to unleash an explosion. It does drain sync to use it though. So let me show it. So let's get it glowing. So now you double tap it, and it blows her up. The reason I don't like it though is you can see we have like no sync. So it, oh, and if you get shattered, that's of course really terrible. So, I'm demonstrating that, but if I just, you know, you had parry, I would have just, you know, owned her. So parry is so much better. Okay, so now we can go through here. I mean, if you are good at parrying, that is, it's so much better. The shield is basically, I don't know any of this guy's moves, I'm just going to try to survive. That's when you use shield. Because you can see, by using shield, I ended up having to, like, I used up all my heals, which is unfortunate. Alright, this is a really, really annoying... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fell off before I even got there. I was about to tell you how annoying it is to make the roll over to it without falling, and then I fell before I even got to it. Welcome to platforming in a game with poor jump. Okay. So yeah. This is tricky to make. You just have to kind of delicately... Oh! Okay. Alright, so just gentle roll. Oh my god, I hate this jump so much. So you want to do like a really gentle roll here, right? Yeah, there we go. Now go this way. Alright, now we're going up here. Get the robot first. It will blow up. Okay, now we can go over here. Now, in here there's a guy with a flamethrower. Oh, sorry. Next room there's a guy with a flamethrower. Here there's a robot. Alright, and he'll blow up, of course. Can wait and see if he drops loot. The flamethrower room is over here. And there's a ladder down as the way forward, just so you can see it. But here you want to race. He's going to be on the left. And you just want to get in there and get him really fast. Get the bone crackers. Lore has completely lost it. Lore is the final boss of this area. We're gonna find him shortly. We're nearly to the next branch. So if we come over here, if you were to drop down, going forward there, you would find Lore. You should have enough to enhance a weapon. So it should be at level 2, whatever weapon you've picked. I strongly recommend that you pick this one though. Remember, we're taking strength up to about 35, and then we'll start pumping life. Before we jump down and do the boss, there's an area over here to do.
Those bunch of ungrateful brats. As soon as her lordship perished, those wretches just ran away, and they all got killed by Lore. Ha! They deserved it.
Pretty bloodthirsty.
They all wanted to go to the surface, but that's Havenswell, where the weak will only fall into prey. That's horrible. I'd rather die collecting mud.
Alright, if you come out here, this is our first vending machine. Now, vending machines always sell an outfit. So in this case, the ponytail. And you can also sell things. If you hit right arrow twice, you'll be on goods. Goods are what you can sell that are safe. They're purely intended to be sold to merchants. We're going to purchase the ponytail. Now, you see how you can purchase crystallized remains? Basically, you can buy those up if you're scared you're going to lose all your crystals. You'll lose about 10% of them when you rebuy or, resell, but it's worth it if you think you're going to take a lot of tries on the boss. So I'm going to equip that ponytail because I like how it looks. Then we're going to go over here and get this loot that we saw back at the beginning of the game. Then we're going to go off here because we need to go back and kill that Void Beast. You remember the Void Beast? The dangerous enemy that we were like, no, 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 don't fight that. Well, now we have a level 2 weapon, so we're going to fight it now. Watch out for the tail. And it will give you another carbon. This is basically like a bonus carbon. So if you come back and do it, you have one extra one, so you'll be able to upgrade a little faster. Now use Broken Branch. That'll get us back to the branch to fight the boss. Then we should be able to upgrade. And you can see we have, let's see, about 1902. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, you know, it would be cool to just go gain like one more. If I kill like 1 or 2 enemies. We could have like no crystals going into the boss and have gained a level. So I do recommend doing stuff like this. We'll get flamethrower guy. Oh god! That did not go at all the way I wanted it to. How much did it give us? 2082. We need 2150. Unfortunate. We'll go kill the robot too. Might even be able to backstab him. And that should definitely give us enough. Snake a Broken Branch back. You might not be at the same point in crystals, but I figured that was worth it. And now if we die, it's just whatever. So, upgrade. Alright, strength 25. And we have like no crystals left. So let's do a boss. You could parry this guy's leap. He always opens with a leap, and if you parry it, you can get some good punishing in. If you screw it up though, it's bad. You can see it's kind of easy. You like don't even really have to think about anything. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing really, because that's why I recommend pumping strength initially. Right? Is like I didn't do any great parrying. I messed everything up. It didn't matter. So you get a new nucleus. Nuclei can be turned in for boss weapons and powerful spells, or they can be equipped. And they change the rate at which you lose crystals when you die, and also the rate at which you gain experience from enemies. So our default nucleus is 75%, 75%, which means we lose 25% of our crystals when we die, and we're only getting 75% of the potential we could from enemies.
Asteria.
What a poor soul. It could have become a blader like you. However, its desire for destruction, engendered throughout years of warfare, has eventually consumed it.
Desire for destruction.
The Void are generated entities, born from the consciousness that flows within the mud. Yet, when overwhelmed by emotions, they succumb to madness. Though it made valiant efforts, it failed to evade its doomed fate. Thank you for granting it the final redemption. May the branch guide your path.
So yeah, the implication is that bladers and necros are coming from some similar origin here. So we're gonna keep bumping strength. So you can see how much damage I was doing. I didn't even buff my weapon with fire or anything. That was just. So that's why we pumped strength early on like that, because you saw he wasn't hitting all that hard. You just don't need all the life early on. it occurs to me I didn't really cover all of the stats. So you have life, which is just your health, vitality, and that raises conversion. So that means when you're hitting with your weapon, you'll gain more sync rate quickly. So in a way, that's you can almost make in other Souls games. That's almost analogous to like, say, endurance or stamina. Then the other stats are just DPS stats: strength, technique, and spirit. And weapons scale with those stats. So like this great sword scales really well with strength. So we're gonna go over here and get this loot. Then you want to come in here. I'm trying to remember if there's anyone to talk to. This guy.
You bastards! My life savings! Give it back! You bastard!
Such a pretty game. They give you that great shot of Havenswell. So yeah, strength is like, the big bonk weapon like I've got right now. Technique is fast-hitting weapons, which you might ultimately switch to, but not until we have one that can stagger. And then Spirit's like spellcasting, so it's like magic. But then there are some weapons that scale with Spirit. Like there's a long sword that scales with Spirit. Can't enhance, can't upgrade. Alright. But we do have a map. You can hit the down arrow to see it. It's really pretty. So what we just did was the southwest sewer town. And next episode, we're going to try to make our way through all of the Outer Wall Ruins Slums area. So I'll see you next episode.